Well, I'm on here, and I want to thank everybody who I've been in Discord with. We're working on a lot of group manifestations and stuff like that, so I'm proud of all of them and all the results they've achieved. And I want to discuss the Bible lines of for those who have everything, more will be given, and for those who have nothing, more will be taken. And if you if you don't have gratitude, and I talk about gratitude so much, but I'm a hypocrite at times. I'm real and open and honest with you guys. I'll tell you the truth about what I'm going through to a degree of like keeping people I know and clients and my girlfriend and my family and all of them with keeping that anonymity towards them and stuff like that. But when you realize that the world is all just you pushed out, people will treat you the way that you expect to be treated. And if you don't love yourself, you're going to get treated that way. And sometimes you come to grip with where you are and where you're getting love from. And it sucks because you can't get it from an external source, even though we want it from there. Like you want your friends, family, and girlfriend, and or boyfriend in some cases, like you want them to be telling you, I love you," this and that. You want people to be giving you all the praises. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome in. Um, we, we get ourselves in this state, and I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I've put myself in bad situations, not following the Matthew principle from the Bible. And when things are going good for you, be grateful and rejoice. Do not look for the holes in the plot. And it's something, I've struggled with my whole life. Um, and in certain situations, you'll struggle with it more because you're just not, you're having trouble programming your mind. And, oh, sorry, I was just getting a text message for Flower Company. Um, anyway, yeah, you have to be able to be secure and love yourself before you could love anybody else. And it's funny because those things will be parroted back to you at certain times in life because it's also a reflection of yourself. So um, for me, um, I was going through a bit of a hard time, and it's like I love um, everyone who noticed me being withdrawn and trying to be there and help me, um, and asking me what's up and stuff. Um, and I'm thankful for my close people in my life that have been there for me too. But even I encounter circumstances sometimes that seem insurmountable. They make me think all is lost and stuff like that. But I want to be out here and be the real coach and never be a hypocrite and tell you guys that sometimes I fuck up too. And when I do, I always try to own up to it. But then you have to get back to yourself. Who are you? Um, what is your self concept in relation to everything? Not like your self concept in relationship to yourself, your relationships, your family, your friends, you know, work life. Because sometimes we don't notice things until sometimes they seem to be taken away. Like the Matthew principle, you're not grateful for something, God will take it away. But if you don't have something and you're grateful for it, and you give thanks, God brings it to you. But the trick is, when it's brought to you, don't ever lose it. It's like we talked about. Part of learning is not failure; it's the opposite. Yeah, it's all just part of learning, and it's like each time you struggle with something and you quote unquote fuck up, like I said, you can't fuck this up goes for a lot of stuff in life. And it's funny when I was going through these hard times, I was just going around thinking about some circumstances I had, and and I got a shirt in the mail that says "You can't fuck this up." I ordered it 5 months ago and thought that they canceled those orders. Came in the mail anyway, and I realized I'm like, okay, be grateful for what's here in your life now. Because let's say, let me give you an example when I lost everything before. And I based it all off like um, a chick not wanting to talk to me, which was the woman before I was with Lily. Um, I was worried that because she didn't want to be with me, that my life was over and horrible and stuff like that. And everything and everyone in my life around me either withdrew from me, collapsed, fell apart, and people got sick and almost died. That was like the story of Job too in the Bible, where God will sometimes take everything away from you to test you. And we talk about in manifesting too. It's not you're not being tested and all that stuff, but it will feel like a test at times. Um, and to be a better teacher, I've prayed to God for a long time, like let me be the best teacher, let me help the most people, and let me be the best man I can be for everyone in my life. But sometimes I complain about stuff that I already have and like the good stuff, and it's only a matter of time before you lose that. And sorry, I'm going through thinking about some things. Seeming like circumstances are crushing me. I came here as a place to kind of ground myself a little bit. Um, this is this park that me and Lily go to all the time. We've been going here since we met, and this is also the park where I've done a whole bunch of like stuff in my life. Come here and like just what do you call it? I just I come here to ground myself and to think about things a little bit and to open my mind and see like sometimes where have I failed before? Where have I been you know what mistakes have I made in life and how can I improve on them? Are there actions to take? Like I talk about actionable steps. Sometimes you have to take action, sometimes you don't. When you're calm, cool, and collected, oftentimes staying calm, cool, and collected, you will not make mistakes in life and jeopardize things and ruin stuff. Um, but when you do, what do you call it? Sorry, thinking. My brain's out of it today. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, I came on here because I'm like something you do is you got to maintain yourself before you can take care of anything else in life. And one of the things I do is like, okay, I'm the motherfucking mystic manifester, right? If if I fuck something up, it's a learning experience, and there's always a way to fix things. All that has been broken can be, all that has been made can be unmade, and all that has been unmade can be made again. Life might seem physical, and it might seem like something you could just like it's set in a way, and that's all it's ever going to be. But when I talk about gratitude, it's seeing the world, people, and places and situations through the eyes of God and not through the eyes of man. The eyes of man will believe that there's problems when there isn't one. We're designed to be practical, to look out for dangers and stuff like that. And it's natural. It's our ego. It's our programming. It's to make us safe in a way. But when you're a mystic manifester, right? You don't go off safe. You go off of confidence and not worrying about failing, and not worrying about losing yourself, not worried about what situation hurts you because you know that, like I said, anything that's been made can be unmade. Conference call, my dad said. Yeah, so anything that you guys think that has been destroyed in your life, it could be fixed. And I know because I've been there before. There's been a lot of things, and not just my relationship, but um, like stuff with work situations, stuff. I've burned bridges, like in my trade, and was still able to bounce back from it. I've made, you know, relationships are a two-way street, right? But like I've made mistakes there. I've made a lot. Um, I owned up to it, but sometimes if you don't forgive yourself, you're living with guilt, and if you don't forgive the other person, then yeah, love revision. Yeah, it's like you have to revise the situation sometimes, and it's like if you put yourself in a situation, you can dig yourself out. There's always a way out. So I love that we have the Discord, and I was going to talk about it again because I really appreciate everybody in there. Um, when I was going through a hard time, I asked for some group prayers and stuff, and you guys really lifted me up. I felt it, and you know, we sometimes pray for our desires and stuff like that, and we visualize our desires, but we don't. What do you call it? We're not doing it for that thing or that person or whatever. It's for the person we got to make of ourselves. And sometimes it takes a situation in the real world to be that learning experience to wake you up and say, time to learn. I love no matter what, you can turn it around in your favor. I've done it so many times. Yeah, that's true. I've had 1 hour turnaround from revision the other day. Nick can tell you the story if he wants. Yeah, Mama Delia did have a pretty cool turnaround the other day. I'm trying to remember which one it was because she told me a bunch of success stories. It was, they all happen pretty quick because why we're instant manifestors. Things always happen really quick. And you got to remember, there's always movement in the background. You know, there were so many times where I felt like, you know, I don't see anything happening, so it's not working out, and things have failed and fallen apart. But it wasn't like, you know, behind the scenes playing out like Neville says, it takes one man or a million. They will all play their part, and what you need and what you want will come to pass. But I'm trying to think. See if we still got anyone here. I believe Mama Delia's success story was the one where she went to sleep and she said an intention that she's going to have her that her SP was going to message her, and then when she woke up, she was just being love bombed. And it's why? Because there's not that she didn't need it. The nap, yeah, it was the one. Yeah, she took a nap, a 1 hour nap, and then wakes up to having all of her success. I'll tell you too. It's been a while since I've actually gone through some circumstances, and I was kind of coasting, and he blew your phone up. Yeah, bam, she got the message. There we go. Yeah, but sometimes it's like even now in this like circumstance that I'm in, I don't know. Like sometimes it feels like, oh, I can't get out of this. Like I don't know how I'm going to fix something. When you're trying to fix things, it insinuates there's a problem. You know, it's not up to. You don't need the other person to forgive you. You don't need that person doesn't need to be forgiven or anything. It just needs to be. You need to see that there's no problem, and you got to do the forgiving of. Well, you forgive the other person. You forgive yourself. So if it's a specific person thing, um, she manifests to certain people to leave her alone. Um, yeah, it's just funny if you're not feeling good in yourself. It's a story I told someone the other day that I was teaching. He said that he knows this guy that he works with, and the guy's a good-looking dude, tall dude, like muscular, everything, got all the complete package. But everybody picks on him and treats him bad. And I said it's because that's how he sees himself. And a lot of people they go through it with their specific person. They're like, well, why do they treat me bad and nobody else does, and all these other men or women want me, and like, but they don't. It's like because you have a self-concept with that person, and you see, you know, the trouble there. You see that like there's a problem between the two of you versus seeing all the good things you have. And it's hard. I know sometimes when, you know, you go through something, and I was thinking back on it when I would go through things with my specific person, um, I would see myself as less than because I didn't have that, you know, that relationship at the time. But what I could control was feeling good about the memories, um, knowing that she does feel the same way, knowing that we are connected, and that although we may fight and argue and stuff like that, nothing is ever so bad that we would truly ever, you know, be completely destroyed. Um, Relationships go through ups and downs, and they weather storms. And I think the more storms that you weather too, like me and her talked about this the other day. The more the more things we went through together, we came back stronger every time. And it's like, and while would there be fighting and stuff that would pop up later on? Yeah, but a lot of times it came from the usual relationship arguments and stuff like that, or it would be from me not forgetting the past, and I would be dwelling on the past, and then all of a sudden I would look for reasons that this person hasn't changed. But when you really sit down and you're grateful, it's like, this is not the same person, and what am I doing? I'm being a fucking clown, and then you snap yourself out and wake yourself up. But there were times we have almost lost it before because I couldn't snap out of it, and I dwelled in that instead of dwelling in the good. So today, I ask you, what can you do for yourselves? What can you do to make yourself feel like the person who has what you desire in this world? For me, even though I didn't feel very motivated to clean the house this morning, I made sure it's clean. Like, I even got down and dirty in the fridge and like cleaned that up and stuff. I meditated. I talked to some good friends, and I didn't feel like talking. I came here and took a walk, reminded myself of great memories I have with my friends when we filmed there, my brother, my dog that used to walk here with me and Lily, all the good things that we used to get together over here with. Thank you. Your story is one really long success story. Yeah, that's all I said. It's like even the bad, um, even the bad things that happen, they're all just part of your bridge. If you never give up and you persist through stuff, no matter how ugly things get, there's always light on the other side. And it reminds me of this line from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where Uncle Iroh says, he goes, "Sometimes life is like a dark tunnel. You can't see the light until you get where you're going." And I was thinking about it like when you go down a slide at a water park or something, or you go down, yeah, like a slide at the water park is perfect. You're going through a dark tunnel. You know you're going to get wet, but you don't remember what it's like. It's like the first time of the year, right? First water slide of the year. And you go down it like I will be this weekend. Um, you go down this water slide, you don't know what the water's going to feel like or what's it going to be like to go underwater because you haven't done it in so long. And then when you hit the water, it's like, it's refreshing. You know how to swim, but you didn't expect where you were going. It didn't look very promising. There's a dog off the leash. More cleaning the house, clean, uncluttered mind. Yeah, because I realized this too. Lily always told me about cleaning the house, and I thought my house was clean enough. But sometimes I couldn't find things, and then I had a wake up call the other day about it, and uh, I couldn't find my phone on my way to work on Saturday. And Lily didn't sleep over this past Saturday, so we weren't able to I wasn't able to have her call it. So I had to run around trying to find it. And eventually I did, but I had to use the computer to call it. And I was like, man, this is a wake up call. She's been right. Let me take care of this. Let me clean up. So I cleaned up, and I feel a lot better. I feel more clear headed. Um, I feel like a better man now, like a better teacher. I feel like a better boyfriend. I feel like a better brother, family member. Like I feel like it's not a better cat owner, like a better version of myself. You know, it's one thing when you're doing it for someone else and you feel like, oh, I'm doing this, and then you're not going to like think it's good enough or whatever. And I guess that was like some reflection of like the way I grew up. You don't think the cleaning will be good enough, and like if people don't respect it, like you feel like you let them down. It's like, so why even try? Try for you. Try to clean for you, and try to clean to keep your mind clear. Like My house feels like very relaxing to go into now, and I never thought that was going to be the case. And I just thought it was always going to be like, I'm just like, I doubt the house was uncomfortable because it was too small. It was just not cleaned properly. And the same thing with your mind. You think, oh, I can't manifest, and I can't, you know, be with this person, or I can't do whatever. You can't have something in life because your mind is cluttered. There's a lot of bad, ugly thoughts in there, and sometimes a physical action of cleaning clears up your mind. And you need to do things that make you feel like someone that you respect, so other people will respect you, and that they will love you, and that they will care for you. Because you can't just keep fishing for other people. There's been times in the relationship where I tell Lily, like, is everything all good? It's stupid because I'm the teacher. That's why I tell you guys, like, what are you asking for? What was I asking for? I did it initially because I was trying to learn about, like, hey, how do I teach you guys better? But really, there's only so much to teach. It's just know that that person cares about you. Know that they're there with you. Don't doubt it. Like, if they didn't find you attractive, they wouldn't be with you. If they didn't find you amazing, they wouldn't be hanging out with you all the time or texting you. They, it's an insecurity. So sometimes, certain things have to be done in your own mind to push push the better version of yourself out. Not for the world, not for other people, but for yourself. And it was a lesson I had to relearn. And it was a hard lesson to learn, and an emotional one too. So I feel more like stable despite, like, a situation I'm going through in life. I feel more calm and at ease. There's a butterfly floating around right here too. My friend Gina called me, and I was feeling like very negative and drained. And my friend Gina's a medium, and I was like, well, let me try to speak to, like, Neville or Jesus or spirit guide or something. And I'm like, I didn't know how to do it, but it's like I feel good now, and I feel like I can. And right as I was talking to her, I called her for external validation, almost like, hey, can you tell me that Neville's still here? And she was going through some circumstances where she's not able to get into her channeling at the moment, or like she was just feeling too drained, like she couldn't pick nothing up at the moment. And then we just had a conversation, and in the conversation, she goes, Neville's still with you. And then, like, but as she was about to say that, she wasn't even done with the sentence or like, she goes, one thing and then I feel like hands on my shoulders. And I was walking around this park, it was just a little while ago, and I feel hands on my shoulders, and it's like, she goes, he's still with you. I'm like, I just felt like the hands, and it made you like, it's an emotional feeling. They're like, somebody's still there from the other side. And my uncle who passed, he came through her too, and told us all he's okay. And then slowly but surely, she was able to pick up on Neville a little bit. And basically, like, in the big scheme of things, all the stuff that seems so important now is not really as important as it seems. You mentioned how he feels that my life mirrors his in many ways, and I see that too. We both had a specific person that didn't really work out in the beginning, and then we found the one that we really loved and we wanted to be with, and we stayed with that person. And was it all probably perfect at times and stuff? No, it didn't have to be perfect. I'm sure that they had their issues and stuff too, and that's how relationships are. And that made me feel good, but it was like still an external validation that I needed to hear. And I want to break out of that, and I want you guys to be out of that too, where you need someone or something to tell you that you're good and everything's fine. Let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna answer some of these questions now. Before I answer the questions, I was rewatching this video the other day, the one of me and Lily at the cabin, and I got to bring her back on sometime, so that we could talk about this. And that woman at the cabin was even better than the woman that I met when I first met her, and I fell in love with the first woman, and then the one who I'm with now. Even this Sunday when we went to the Renaissance Fair, it's like, well, not this one, but the one before. It's like, what an amazing time we had. Like just that loving feeling between us. It's amazing. But on the other hand, sometimes when we get into arguments and stuff, it's not only does she feel like another person, but I feel like another person. Like that's and it's not her. That's me. When you start to feel like another person, like a weaker person or something like that, or someone not as good, you project out these negative feelings, and you repel that person. So she becomes the version of her that would hurt me or leave me or whatever, and I become the version of me that is capable of that. But it started with me. I started feeling that way. Then it reflected. But when I would respect myself and love myself, I was able to give it better. So then you can receive it better. And it's like, and when I'm happy and I'm going about life and I'm doing my thing, our relationship is able to soar and be so much better. But just so you know, it's like this is an ongoing thing. Like for a long time, I got lazy as the mystic. I'm like, oh, I'm the mystic. I just, whatever, I'll just meander through life. I don't need to manifest nothing anymore. I've already done it. I've done this. I've done that. But if you don't stay up on your gratitude and you don't stay up on your mental diet and you don't stay up on all that stuff, everything that was given to you will be taken away. And it can happen. And it has almost happened multiple times in my relationship because I just refused to stay in the state because I just chose to be lazy. Same thing with cleaning the house. When I cleaned the entire house the other day and I went balls to the wall on it, just like I do when I manifest, uh, I was excited because I felt good. And when I was put in a circumstance recently that I had to manifest, I was very anxious, insecure. I did a whole bunch of things that were wrong in manifesting. And, you know, while at the moment of making this, the situation is not fully resolved, I feel very good and happy and content and happy because I know that everything always works out in my favor and you can't fuck this up. But the thing is, when I say you can't fuck this up, take the lessons you learned with you, you know, bring them to the other side, bring like bring that happiness, that love, and who you are with you, and don't lose it. Don't lose who you are. It's it's hard to do. Like if this was easy, everyone would do it, right? And while I'm giving shout outs and stuff like to like everyone in Discord who's been there for me too. And I know it's like not, you know, you're not putting a shout out to for other people because they did it for you, but it's nice to be grateful because I don't want to lose all these people. And I'm grateful for Lily because of all the times that we went through stuff. You know, in her heart, she still knew that there was a connection and would stay like through all this stuff that we've gone through. And when I bring her back on here for a podcast, like we'll talk about it. And because she wanted to do one a while back, and we never got around to it, and I was just because I was doing them on Mondays and stuff. But we should have done more. And she seemed very upset the one day that I didn't bring her on, and I feel bad about that. So we'll get that rectified soon. But I love that she always wants to be involved with the channel and you guys and help. And you're stuck with me. No, I appreciate you, Ink. I hope I'm stuck with all you guys. And journaling is great for mini manifestations. I wrote it once, look at it one day, and then everything. Yeah, exactly. And you call them mini manifestations too. You knock them down from like how important they are. And it's not as big of a deal. So I've written down a bunch of mini manifestations. I haven't written some down in a long time. And I'm happy and glad I could be on a journey with you guys and stuff again. Because I'm learning things that, not learning things, I'm relearning what I already knew. And it's like one thing, it's like, Lily pointed this out to me before. She goes, you speak a lot of things. And remember, it's not just your girlfriend or your family, it's your or friends, it's strangers too. When people say things to you that you might take wrong or have a problem with, they're just a reflection of you. You feel that about yourself somewhere. And it should be a wake-up call to be like, okay, I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to get this done. I should make a change. Like for a long time, it wasn't until a situation where I needed to clean the house that I didn't clean it, that I cleaned it. But Lily used to always tell me to clean the house. And you know, is a bad boyfriend. Like, why would you, if it makes her comfortable and turned on and happy, like, why would you not do it? So I had to forgive myself for that situation, not to keep seeking like, oh, really, forgive me, forgive me. It's like what is done is done. It's in the past. Let the dead bury the dead. And same thing with negative old stories. When you carry it forward with someone, um, when you carry that forward, um, that that can sabotage you later. Sorry, so I'm gonna get back to these comments. Pedro, what's up? Sorry guys, I'm reading a lot of them. That's funny timing. I'm cleaning the house now. There we go. Everybody clean the house. Neville is faith. Neville says faith is the bridge. Yes, the bridge is all off faith. If you doubt that something's gonna happen, it's never gonna happen. And there's still things in my life. It's like, oh, I don't think this will happen, but I don't let go. It's like, you know what? Even if faith, if you go off the Bible, on faith in the grain of a mustard seed, it doesn't take much. It's one word. It's one confident affirmation. It's one loving line that makes you, or one vision. Like Neville said, visualizing too often or meddling with the middle or trying to make things happen is a surefire way to miscarry that manifestation. We had company this weekend. Let's see. Never do something for someone else. Yep. Well, yeah, but never do it for you. Totally, totally relate with wanting to clean when company comes over. Yeah. And yeah, it's like you shouldn't just be like, sometimes too, this is another thing about cleaning too. You know, cleaning for a company is like usually when most people clean, or at least for me, it's like, oh, if I had a bunch of people coming over, I'd clean up. But if sometimes you get so used to like, oh, it's my girlfriend, whatever, I'm just gonna leave the house this way. She's used to it. That's not right. Like, that's wrong. So it's like, because you should always be trying to keep that romance going. Or it's like sometimes like I would forget. This is like a little bit of actual 3D relationship advice that I should have followed more. Um, Not saying like I'm over enough, but like saying like some advice that I'm working on doing better on. Is like still being romantic, still doing like sending flowers like unexpectedly, sending little gifts, or like paying attention to little things. Like the other day, she said she needed a fan, so I'm like, and she goes, I'm looking around for one and stuff like that. I'm like, don't buy one, and then like it shows up in the mail. Uh, so you just got to do things like that to keep things like spiced up, I guess. Um, let's see, Neville's always with you. You shifted, and then everyone else shifts. Yeah, exactly. Once you shift into this version, it's like right now I didn't really want to get on the live because I wasn't feeling my best, and I'm like, but you know what? The version of me that is out of the circumstances, the version of me that is happy, is making lives, is posting videos, is secure in himself enough to be secure in everything in his life, where he's not like questioning everything and trying to figure out like, oh, you don't go to work every day and tell the boss, it's like, do you still like me? It's like, not saying in a relationship the person's your boss, but like you just know that I'm going to go and show up and perform and do my best, and they're still going to want me here, and I'm still going to have a job. I'm sitting here baking in the sun, and this actually reminds me of the time where me and Lily sat over here and we read the Bible last summer before the bodybuilding show, and we took like a fucking 10-mile walk. I took one yesterday too to clear my head. And sometimes I think you got to spend some time alone in life, and I don't like doing it. Like that was something in the manifesting journey of like when I didn't have her, I was alone a lot. So when people invite you to do stuff, obviously go out and enjoy yourself, but don't like spend all the like you don't neglect spending time with yourself, because then you start to lose yourself, and it feels good. The best version of you now, but you are instantly shift into the bad. You can instantly shift in the perfect. Yeah, I mean, there were so many times in this relationship too. Um, we have like the greatest day ever, and then like a day later or hours later or something, we have a huge fight, and then it seems like everything's all lost. And then we like we'll spend some time away from each other, and then like I get back to like who I am and remembering that. And then in turn, she kind of remembers who she is and stuff. And we're kind of like, okay, hold on, back together. And then we have this insane, like everything picks up real good again. So like, I think that's just life. Life is going to be that there will be fights and stuff. But there, like they said, there was only one perfect man. Dolores Cannon said there's only one perfect man ever walked the earth, and his name was Jesus, and they killed him for it. So um, it's not our job to be perfect. It's our job to do the best for ourselves, so we can be the best for the world. You never stop manifesting. Yeah, exactly. The journaling twice a day was a game changer to me. I got everything I wrote down in less than a month. Yeah, less than a month ago. Yeah, journaling is great for many manifest. Oh yeah, I read that one already. Being around other manifestors helps take the wait hold on. Being around other manifestors helps takes extreme joy in little manifestations and the big ones. They are, of course, they would happen. Yes, and that's the thing I love about Discord. When we do these group manifestations for each other, some of us don't see it, but the other ones see it immediately. So then they build faith on them, and before you know it, then other people feel it too, and then they get success, and then they motivate each other. So we're always motivating each other and lifting each other up. And it's good to have a group of friends like that. It's good to have a group of like-minded people to help. Sometimes even some of us who I still talk to on a regular basis, they'll catch me and stuff too. It's like, but if you stop talking to people, you kind of you put yourself in a position where it's like all you're doing is in your own head. This is why it's important to have a work life, relationship, friends balance, to let your mind stretch, to be free, to be all over the place, versus just stuck in one thing where you could just overthink yourself to death. Your group is important. Gotta be the positive, supportive people. You are never a bad boyfriend. You are always amazing. Be good to you. And then a crocheted penguin. You're never alone. Those inner conversations reach out. Yeah. So that's another thing too. I don't know what the hell that noise is, but what do you call it? In terms of you're never alone. Your thoughts are always heard. I always own up to stuff, and it's like, okay, if I felt I wasn't good, or felt I was a bad boyfriend at times, I thank you, Ink, for saying that I was good. And sometimes you have to go back and remind yourself of all the good you did. But also, I'll tell you this, from on the other side of like having manifested someone back and you've been with them for so long, when you're with someone for a long time, you get a lot of old stories and stuff built in, and you got to be careful that they don't take root, because if they do, you could seriously hinder things or cause damage or scars to the relationship that are unnecessary. Not that they can't be revised, not that you can't be forgiven or you can't forgive yourself, but it's important to release things. Being alone is a superpower. My one teacher told me that version of being rich when you're alone is the rich time. Take advantage. Yeah, 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 and like I said, you were married. You just So exactly, and you think about it like old married couples or like me, me and my relationship. It's like when you have a fight. I mean, sometimes like we have a fight, I will tend to go back to the old me and spiral out and freak out and stuff like that. But because on a core level, I still felt good. Um, she was able to forgive like those feelings and understand why I felt that way, and give me reasons to trust and to be a better like partner. So I always give credit where credit is due. Like the past 2.5 years have been great, despite the arguments and stuff we've had and everything. I mean, we just had girlfriend's day pass and everything, and we weren't able to see each other this past weekend, but that's all right. We I was able to do it online, and you know, with the time apart, like you said, being rich is being rich in your own mind. And sometimes you don't want to give the space to another person, but doing that lets them grow and lets them become a better version of themselves for you, just like you're becoming a better version of yourself for them in that time apart. And you know, it's not the end all be all. Like you don't need to freak out. I'll tell you a story. Now I'm smoking a cigar. I'm thinking about this story from yesterday's walk. See how the cigar burns, and it burns nicely, and like it's a little bit off, but it's still fine. The other day I had one, and it was like right down the middle here. Like the top was unburned, and the bottom part was really burned. And here's the lesson. I was praying when I was doing this. And I was talking to God, and I said, oh, this thing's garbage. I'm gonna throw it away. It sucks. I only have one cigar, and it's like there's no. I was walking, so there's no other cigar shop nearby. I had no chance, and my car was getting detailed. So like, I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, what am I gonna do here? And like, just throw it away. And then like, I felt like a voice in my head, like, that's it. No, don't throw it away. And almost like sometimes like you get into it with a relationship, right? It's like, just throw it away, just give up. And it's like, no, you know what? I'm going to prove I'm going to prove that this works. So I know if you hold the cigar like this, it will start to burn even. But I've never seen one, and even all this time, I've never seen one burn itself straight after that, like when it was that badly fucked up. Usually you just throw those ones away and get another. I said, all right, I'm going to let it go. And then like the next thing was from God, it's like, as the cigar burns normal with patience, so will the circumstance you're in burn normally and turn out the right way. And it's hard because, like I said, I feel locked in a situation right now, and I had a lot of doubts and a lot of fears and insecurities. But it's like that trust and that knowing that like you'll be okay, you're safe. And the cigar turned out to burn right and perfect and everything. And I've never gone for like I've done it actually maybe once or twice, but I did it because I was doing it to get something before. Like when me and Lily were broken up a long time ago, um, I went to breakfast or lunch or some meal by myself. I went to a bar by myself. Like everyone's like, "Oh, treat yourself to the date you want to be on." Well, it's like I went there yesterday just because the car was getting detailed. I walked and I knew I needed to eat. I hadn't eaten in a while, so I sit down and I eat and I got myself. I went to a place that me and Lily usually go to, and got myself some breakfast there. And it's funny when I ordered the breakfast, even though she wasn't with me, I heard her say, "Of course, babe, you and your meat lover skillets. It's always that." And I'm like, I know. And then all of a sudden, I found myself in an inner conversation with Lily. And I'm like, that's real nice. And then I saw something that reminded me of my mom. And then I started having an inner conversation with my mom. And then my mom texted me shortly after that. And then what's it called? Um, Sorry, Scar's almost dead. But I got this lighter today that I'm using. I've used it once or twice before on a live, but shout out to Lily. Thank you. This is the one she brought me back from Arizona. It's a trip we have to take still. It's we went to the Grand Canyon, or she went to the Grand Canyon with her friend, and our names are carved in there, so we got to go see that still. So, but anyway, the scar wound up burning straight, and I've never seen that happen before. Just because things are like they don't seem perfect at the moment doesn't mean that they'll stay that way. It doesn't mean that the cigar will eventually turn itself to like, get burned the right way as an example of something. Like I said, everything always works out in the end, whether it be a relationship, a job, a circumstance, something that feels impossible. I had a success story the other day from a guy who they were changing like the student loan stuff for him, and it would have financially crippled him if they would have put it out the way he did. And he just calmly asserted, like basically, it's like, if the government wants their money, they're going to take it. He's like, no, it doesn't happen that way. He just firmly stated it. He got in the call. The person had a bad attitude with him. And despite that, he said, no, they're still going to give me whatever I need. And they wound up getting an affordable plan that would not break him, and everything just kind of stayed the same and an extension on the stuff. And then he wound up like everything just worked out for him. But it was stressing him out. Like he would have been in bad shape if that happened. And sometimes there's nothing you need to do. He just had to go about the normal steps of it. There's plenty of times like in the relationship too, I could just, you know, and it's something I'm still working on and learning, but it's like when something happens, don't freak out, don't start a fight over it, just let it play out. Calm down. It's nothing's that big of a deal. And I think that's why we stayed so good always. But I had that inner conversation with her, and then on the walk back, I had some friends. I was thinking about me and her going up to this water park and stuff like that. I had friends that go and invite me to a water park yesterday. Um, then I had what else? I mean, because we're going up to Wisconsin Dells. I had the same group of friends say, "We're going to Wisconsin Dells." I'm like, "What? Oh my god! Like, it's crazy. We'll see you up there." Um, we had all kinds of stuff happen, and it's just crazy to think about, like how fast the circumstance could turn around. There have been times where like me and her were like horrible fight, and either one or the other were just like, you know what, let's just calm down, take a step back, and get back together. And like, so now you start to learn it's like sometimes just a speed bump in the road. Tell me about what you said last night about the outer conversation, the out loud one. Oh yeah, another good like technique, and something I'm working on too is, you know, whatever you say in your mind, other people pick up on. Like I told the story before. Me and Lily talked about this story on the live we did together about coworkers and stuff, right? And about how sometimes I guess that's about the end of the cigar. We're coming up at the end of the live anyway. We're talking about you know, coworkers, and it's like sometimes you think negatively about them and stuff like that, and they show up the exact way. Like they hear your thoughts and they have no choice but to push out. Your perception of the world is the only way that it's going to appear. So I mean, the best times I've always had with her was when I was focused on all that. So then I was focused on good, solid things. And sometimes if you're going through relational stuff, and I learned this lesson before, like we had another fight one time, and I know it sounds like a lot, but when you count it out, I think in the past 2.5 years we maybe had a fight every, it'd be like every 3 4 months there'll be a fight, but other than that, like the relationship's real good. But it's good, and then before a fight breaks out, it's usually my inner thoughts will go to something negative and then stick there despite all the good that I'm seeing. So now, if you could take good and find bad in it, and then bad plays out, can you take the bad situation that you see and see the good in it and have see that play out? Well, you can, because that's what I've done in the past, and that's how we've always been able to maintain such a good, strong, healthy relationship despite all the stuff we go through. And when you speak it out loud, it feels even more powerful. There's a circumstance that I'm in, and like I said, I'll tell you guys the story when the story unfolds. Um, but when the circumstance was happening, I switched to this thing just naturally. When I was praying, and I'm like surrendering the situation to God, because sometimes you feel powerless, and like if you identify with God and you believe in God and stuff like that, so you say, you know what, God, I surrender it to you. I know that like I know that this is the right decision. I know that everything works out. I know that, for everyone with the specific person thing, I know that me and this person are meant to be together. I know that, like, despite our problems, we're all good. Um, and then, you know, despite all that stuff, you speak it out loud. It's like if others can hear what is whispered in silence, they can really hear what is spoken. So, sometimes even just to feel good, um, what's it called? Sometimes just to feel good, I'll speak to people out loud, and like I always thought it was like, oh, if you talk to yourself, you're crazy, and like, two people I know that do like mumble to themselves, or like Lily and my dad both do that. They'll mumble to themselves sometimes, and it's like, but I remember my dad, he would be having inner arguments, like, and then like sure enough, the things you would hear him mutter, like he would wind up encountering those situations. Now, um, I've, I'm like, if you can use that for the negative, you can use it for the positive, and that's what I've done. And like today is a beautiful day. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to go to the gym. All the things I would usually do that that don't involve the circumstance, because the more you give attention to it, the more you try to like change something, the more rift you can cause in anything, whether it's a relationship or any situation. So let's see what we got. Next question: how do you feel about dating others while you're manifesting your SP? So dating others while you're manifesting your SP, it's up to you. I've done it both ways. Like at one point, I saw somebody for a month. Um, it's like if you have an interest in someone else, it's like go ahead. But then it's like for me, majority of the time, it was like I would only find people who are like just interested in hooking up for fun because I know that like it's wrong. My morality is I don't want to hurt somebody else because I knew that I still loved Lily. I knew that was the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. And it's like if I know who this is who I'm going to be with forever, it's wrong to get entangled with somebody else. And there were a couple of times where like two of the women fell for me, and I felt horrible. And then I understood Lily better. I'm like I had to become her to understand her. And then in the times when me and her would fight too, this was another thing. Like sometimes you become the other person and you understand them better. And the times when we would fight and it was about things that I did, I understood how it was to be the one who hurts your partner or someone that cares about you because I know how she cares about me and feels for me. I understood her better. So it made me better to like, okay, how can I improve? How can I be more conscious of this relationship? Just like she became more conscious of the relationship. So like always learning from each other. Like, you know, you're doing things, life is a solo journey. We come to this world alone, we leave alone at the end, like we pass away and we all go back to God and we go back to the source and we're one again. But while we're here, this seeming division of like, I'm me and you're you and you look different than me, then we're not the same person. It's like, no, there's like, I love people and everybody loves me. Like, good stuff always happens to me. Um, so when I expect good, good happens. But just because a negative circumstance happens, I mean, if I were to keep dwelling in this circumstance or freaking out about it, I have no doubt it would cost me my relationship. It will cost me my my who knows if the job like the job would be a place I don't want to be at no more. Maybe lose the house, maybe like lose a car, whatever. Like a bunch of bad stuff will happen. I don't want to throw out all those things and speak them into existence, but when you speak about something, you make it more whole and sound, and you're putting it out there. So the circumstance I was in, I mean, I wasn't even able to eat and stuff like that. It reminded me of like when me and her would break up, I wasn't able to eat and stuff. But it's like eat your meals, eat, go to the gym, do you, because especially if it's a relationship thing, if you stop doing you, you're no longer the person that they fell for. And you always have to be conscious to stay on the game with that. But in terms of dating other people, if it's been a long time or they're dating someone else and you feel like you want to and you could keep it as a casual thing and you know that you're going to switch up, or if you maybe don't love that person and you want to date someone else, go ahead. And sometimes they reflect things you need to know about yourself or SP. Um, oh yeah, when you're talking about if you date someone else, yeah, yeah, just like you said and what I was saying, like so if you're trying to manifest them back and you date someone else, like I dated someone who was not dated, but I hung out with her for like a month, super clingy and stuff like that, and blowing me up, and like all the time, and like accusing me of stuff. I didn't like that, and I learned to change that for Lily. But there were still times where like old thoughts would get through my head, and I would still like do shit like that. And it's like funny enough, there was a fight that me and her got into somewhat recently, and that same chick, she works at the same building as me, and I only saw her once when I first started there. I bumped into this lady like the day the fight was happening, and it was right now it's just clicking to me. I'm like, I always wonder why that happened. I thought about her because I passed by where she worked, and I'm like, I wonder what she's up to. As I come back, bump into her, and it's like that is a sign right there that like stop acting the way you're acting, or you're going to cost. You are going to become her, and Lily will be you, running away from you because you can't control yourself. And it wouldn't be happy or fair to anybody if you can't control yourself. I I was giving unconditional love to Lily at a time, and when like but I was doing it out of fear and need and stuff like that. This was like back when we first met, and I met this other chick, and it was the first time I was feeling somebody give me unconditional love, and it felt good and stuff. But I still wanted my SP, so I tried to keep things that I wanted to be with Lily. So I just kind of kept things casual with that chick, and it was sucked because she really was giving me that, and I'm like, but I had to learn like that's this is how Lily did that to me. We're human beings. We make mistakes. We hurt each other. We hurt people, but it's like, you know, I like the Bob Marley line. Everyone in life is going to hurt you, but it's who's worth suffering. You know, this is like the only real relationship that I've ever tried to stick with, or the only woman who I've really wanted to be with as bad as Lily. And when I did, stay with her and stuff like that. And like, and I am, but like when we're in this relationship, right? I have to. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was like, um, I just heard her voice right now say, she's like, you and the smoking, and then like put it out, and it's already dead, babe. And then what's it called? Anyway, um, yeah, it's funny too. And then yeah, you learn things from those other people and stuff like that. So let me see. I'll take a couple more questions and then I'm gonna jump off, guys. All right, because we're coming up on the hour. It's strange because the person I was going to go for a date with, something my SP did and got mad because I thought I'd changed in my self concept until I realized I am. I realized I get to choose what this means for myself in the future circumstances, and I know not a person who doesn't get consistently. Yeah, exactly. Just keep yourself as the person who gets consistency. Um, and you learn something from it. See, it's important. Every aspect and interaction you have in life is important. And oh, I was gonna say the thing about people who hurt you. Like, yeah, everyone's gonna like hurt you to some degree. It's like, but you have to learn to forgive it and forget it too. It's hard. It's very hard. I'm not gonna lie. That's a very hard thing to do, and it's something that I had struggled with. But it's not impossible. It might take a long time, but realizing that you're blessed that that person still does care for you and keeps talking to you, it's good. I mean, there's still times where it's like, sometimes me and her aren't talking all the time. Not saying like, oh, she's like shunning me or whatever, but like we're like, when we're busy or whatever, it's like you just think, oh, she's busy, like, and I used to do that all the time. So it's like she's busy, no big deal, no, and stuff like that. But you got to make sure you're not like checking the 3D. Like there was times where I would be like, well, she's on TikTok, and I sent her a message, and why didn't she answer? And it's like it's bad for your mind. Don't don't check that stuff. And I know all the rules too. It's like, but sometimes I'll still break the stuff. Better to not have the option. Better to not overthink things. You assign the meanings to things. Nothing is neither good nor bad. It's only whatever you think. Question for you. Remember said do something for a long time SP. Hold on, I can't read. Remember when said you knew someone that had a long term time SP from when they were like 16 or whatever? No. Enlighten me on the story more. Sometimes if you go into viewing it as a bridge to uncover the unconscious beliefs that can help. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Like the situation I'm going through right now, there were things I needed to change and they were red flags all over the place. But, that's where a manifesting coach or partner comes in handy because, I'd always been downplaying myself too a long time. Like, you don't need a coach and stuff. It's like, for me, I was like, no, dude, like, you need to have someone to check in with sometimes and be like, hey, wait, no, dude, what are you thinking? Like, Ink has always been very good with me about that, but we haven't talked so much lately. So there's that. And like, and she helped me. And, everyone now is kind of like, oh, here's, just because something happened and it seems like it's too late. I mean, trust me, the situations that me and Lily went through, they were crazy, crazy things. And the fact that she still felt something for me after, and I still felt something for her after that, it's just no other way to tell than like those were just good beliefs. Like nothing was really as fucked up as you thought. It was just a bridge. Yeah, I don't know which person you're talking about who had a person from then. If you're a low key therapist, yeah, yeah. Sometimes you got to check in with people to help you keep your mind straight. And you know, I haven't always watched my mental diet, and it's like, there were times I've done a bunch of stupid stuff, but it was never to end. And then that kind of, and you realize that, especially for someone who's got your SP back multiple times. Um, yeah, you talk to like when you're with them multiple times, it's like you kind of realize like you should be building faith on like, okay, if you want to build it off the 3D, it's like this person really cares. Like if they might not say the words, but like they care about you so deeply that they look past those insecurities. And then you realize the true bond is you cared about them so deeply, you overlooked all these other bad things. Like that's a true love connection with unspoken bond, like just there. They're like, even in that live where me and Lily were at the cabin, she said something about, she goes, every time that we split up, oh, hold on, battery's dying. It's a sign to end it up soon. But she's like, every time that we were split up, I would think about you a lot and I didn't want to lose you. And she's like, and I wanted to be friends and you weren't really cool with it. And then we became friends and tried it. And it's like, but you wanted more. And she goes, I was just really feeling you. I wanted to, give it a go. And she's given it a ton of chances and stuff. So I love her and appreciate her for that. And it's like, and she appreciates all the times where it's like she did stuff and was like, and I gave her all those chances too. And it's like, I think if you know that a person has a strong possibility to let you down and you still care about them and are willing to fight for them, that really speaks volumes about the relationship. You don't take anything that personal with each other. You just know that you're special to each other like that. It's making me feel real good talking about that right now. And that's kind of like one of those things, speaking it out loud too. Like, I'm sure later on when I talk to her that she'll be like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I felt you. I just kept thinking about you. She's at work right now. So it's like, I just kept thinking about you. And, um, I just felt real good. And it's like, yeah, it's because I was talking about you in a real good way. And it's like, sometimes, yeah, it's like anyone, like you talk shit about people, they're going to know it and feel it. So same thing when you talk good. Yeah, you have to stand firmly in it again and again, despite not seeing it, despite seeing the opposite. Like I've had stuff where it's like my heart was ripped out, but if I couldn't forgive it, then I wouldn't have been back. And I've done stuff like I know that, like I said, like everybody sees me, it's like, oh, you're a great guy and this and that. It's like I've done stupid things and stuff that like it would make me mad if I was on the other end. And I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? So the fact that she's still there too, it's like just a whole lot of just great stuff and like a great relationship despite all the ups and downs. Like, I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I would have it where we don't fight and stuff like that, but I think that just comes with the territory of a relationship and learning from it. Like, hey, you're in the relationship and you say, you know what, I need to stop. If most of the fights start from me because of this, I need to stop. No more checking everything. Or if you really feel like you need to say something, it's like that's when you get a manifesting friend or a coach or something, bounce it off them and let them handle it and let them turn your mind around. So awesome, Nick. Feeling is good. Feeling is the secret. Exactly, Courtney. Yep. Happy for you, Nick. Sounds like a great relationship. Yeah, I think it is. And if she's watching, I know me and her, we're doing good, and we went through some stuff somewhat recently, but we've had a lot of good memories recently, and we got some other stuff coming up. I want to know I love you and appreciate you, and thank you for everything. I'll take my glasses off first. So if you're watching, babe, and I appreciate you, and thank you for putting up with all my shit for all these years, and I hope you feel the same about all the shit I put up with too. And we've been through a lot, and I just want to say thank you because it's been a hell of a ride, and I know we got a lot more ahead of us, and can't wait to see where the future takes us. There's so many times where I would say those lines and think that like, oh, you know what? I guess this is as far as it went, but no, it's like there was always more. There was always more, and the bridge was always unfolding. our worst our worst parts of our relationship often came right before our best times. So that's why she'll always be special to me. That's why I'll never give up on her. Like no matter what we go through, we grow through. And yeah, that's why I love that woman despite whatever may happen or may come or go. Um, that's why I know we'll work through whatever. So if she's watching, I love you. And for the rest of you guys, um, keep up your mental diets. Be happy for what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Because if you're not grateful, God will take it. And if you are happy for what you don't have before you have it, God will grant it to you. And everybody, yeah, like Mama Delia says, everybody have a great week. You have a great week. I love you very much. I love Lily. Love you guys. Love Mama Mystic for coming in here. I love all the support. Thank you to the friends who've been giving me some motivation through my circumstances. And I'll tell you guys when we go live together. So it's only a matter of time. But